Well, hi NicNackers. So today what I'm going to be working on is apples. We like Honeycrisp apples in our house. So what I did yesterday was I went and got 2 boxes of the Honeycrisp apples. I soaked them in some vinegar water and set them out on a towel to dry. And then this morning I've been working on juicing them and saucing them. So I'll kind of show you my little setup here. So I have the bottom of my juicing pan here, and I've been putting that together, and I'll show you me filling it up with the apples. But I've been cutting up the apples. I don't core them, I don't seed them, I don't skin them, none of that. I've just been filling it up and then getting it up to the bottom up to a boil, letting them juice out. And so far, this is the juice that I have here. And then once it is no longer producing juice, I have been taking the apples, setting them on my oven mitt so they don't burn my counter, and then coming over to my, I forget what this is called, the grinder chute. And the thing that takes out the seeds and the skins and stuff. So put that in the top, and the pulp and all of that comes out this end, and the sauce comes out this end. So you can see my applesauce in there is thick. It's beautiful. Some of those skins, they give off that nice peach hue in there. So I'm going to go ahead and let this set while I continue cutting up my apples and getting them into my juicer. Let me get set up and I'll bring you right back. So I thought I'd just show you the last couple apples that I have here. This honestly could not be any easier. I'm just simply chunking them, and then I am throwing them in my juicer. So I'm going to get one more apple in there because I think that we'll be able to fit it. And you can see everything is in there. Super easy. And then let me grab this lid real quick. I'm going to stick the lid on there, and then I'm going to turn that on high, and once we have some juice flowing, I will bring you back. All right, so let's see if we have any juice. First thing we have to do is we're going to go ahead and unclamp that. And, well, that was a big letdown, wasn't it? Well, I guess I will clamp it and we will let that boil. It's been going for about 20 minutes now, so I will just clamp it and hang this back up, and we'll be back. All right, so I think it's time for us to check to see if there's juice, and I can see some in there. Can you see that? So I will let this off now because once that starts flowing down, it is going to be hot. And there we go. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that continue to flow. We have about, oh, I don't know, probably another half hour of, that gets hot. Another half hour of the boiling for the apples, and then we'll get to canning up the juice and the applesauce. Well, I guess first I have to sauce the apples, don't I? So we'll bring you back for that. All right, so now our juice is done, and I have that on the pot keeping warm until my jars are done out of the dishwasher. And while I'm waiting for all of that to come together, I am going to finish juicing my apples, or saucing my apples. So I have my KitchenAid going, and I'm just going to continue feeding in my apples through the chute here and have them sauce down and get all the pulp and the seeds out. And I will bring you back when these are ready to jar up. All right, NicNackers, so our juice is done, our sauce is done, and I'm going to go ahead and can up the juice first. So I've had it warming on the back burner here. You don't want to boil it, but you do definitely want to keep it hot. So I'm going to get a couple jars out, and I'm going to be canning this in pints. You can do it in quarts. I've just chosen to do it in pints. I have a couple quarts from years previous, but it seems like when I open it, usually we're just using about a pint's worth, and so I figure I might as well just can it in pints. So I've not added any sugar to this. You can add sugar to your liking if you so choose. I just have not. Before, when I've done apple juice or apple cider, I have added cinnamon, I think just cinnamon. I don't think I've ever added anything else to it. And you can do that if you'd like. It's really good. Opening this up, and if you throw a cinnamon stick in with it, man, in the middle of winter, it feels like summer. Well, fall. So I have that to a 1/2 inch headspace. And I'll get the lid on. And I'm going to be using my steam canner. It's so nice to use these, not having to worry about all of that water. I'll bring this juice. Whew, that is getting warm. Isn't that pretty? A little bit of a blush to it. From the skins, I'm assuming, since I did do all that with the skins. That doesn't have any wording on it. I'm not sure how many pints I'm going to get out of this. If I were to guess, I would think about 12 to 14, just based on the size of my pot and how full it is. So we'll see if I'm close at all. And I haven't really been stirring this a lot, so once I get to the tail end, there might be some sediment. In fact, I can see some in there even as I'm looking right now. But that's okay. Just like with my beef broth, I don't worry about, or well, any of my broths, I don't worry about the sediment. To me, that is flavor. If you want this to be clearer, you could run it through some cheesecloth, or even let it set for a day or two, and then just take the juice right off the top and leave all the sediment there at the bottom. But I don't worry about that. It's flavor. There's nothing in it that's bad. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I think it looks great. So there is all of our beautiful apple juice. Let me grab the lid real quick if I can remember. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the Victorio steam canner. I don't know if I've done a video with this or not. I've done a couple canning sessions with it. Okay. No, hold on one second. I don't think the lid's fitting just right. There we go. Now it is. Okay. You have to kind of work it around those jars. So, when you're using it, I will turn, let's see if we can see that, try to get out of the, so my zone is zone 1, so I will turn the heat up to high, and I'll let it get into that dark green area, right? Can you see that? And then once it gets in there, then I can start the timer. And I will need to look up the time because I do not remember how much it's going to be going for. But it's not going to start until it gets to that blue zone anyway. So I will bring it back and show you when I'm up into the zone and let you know for how long that's going to be canning. All right. All right, so you can hear that. Let me turn that down just a little bit and I'll show you. You can see that is now in the dark green area. And so my timing is going to start now. So These pints are going to go for 10 minutes for my altitude. You can also can apple juice in quarts, or it's one of the very few things that you can also can in half gallons. So I found my time on the National Center for Home Food Preservation site because my book only gave me the time for quart, which for quarts would be 15 minutes for me. So my book doesn't tell me anything about the half-gallon jars, but if you're interested in that, you can go to the website. All right, so these are going to go for 10 minutes, and I'll bring you back when they're out of the canner. All right, so the timer has gone off, and this has been sitting here for 10 minutes, but you'll see that indicator is still in our green zone. I think you can see that pretty good. There we go, that's better. So now what I'm going to do is I just take the lid off, kind of work my way up a bit, and I'll let that set for about 10 more minutes, and then I will put those on the cooling rack. Ooh, ping ping. All right, so what I have going on here is I have 16 cups of the applesauce, 3 cups of sugar, and 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I've just had that on a low heat. I'll turn that off now. And we're going to get this. It's supposed to make about 8 pint jars. So we'll get these jarred up, and these guys are going to can for 25 minutes for my altitude. If you're below 1,000 feet, then you can go for 20 minutes. All right, so I'm also going to have to get my debubbler because this is sauce and it's kind of thick. So I want to make sure if there's any air bubbles in there that I'm working them all out. So let's see here. And we're going to fill these to a 1/2 inch head space. And that looks fantastic. All right, let's get some, where did I go? This jar feels a little different. Doesn't feel like there's any cracks, but it feels just a little rougher than the others. Huh, I know what that's all about. Well, we'll find out if it seals. If not, that means I get a jar for the fridge. All right, so I'll show you that. Ooh, so pretty. So I'm going to get these jarred up, and then later on I will be bringing you guys back for some candy applesauce. That stuff is really good. And I'll show you how I make that. That might be just a tad over. All right, so I am going to continue filling these, getting them in my steam canner, and I will bring you back when they're all done. All right, so what I have going on in this pot, I have my applesauce, the regular plain applesauce in the canner right now. It's on high, I'm just waiting for it to bring it up. And over in this pot, I am going to start filling this one up again. And what I'm going to do is I am going to follow the recipe that I used for the applesauce the first time, which was 3 cups of sugar. 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then I was just going to use 1 package of these candies, the cinnamon candies, but I saw that I have some left over from last year. I must have measured it out for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour both packages in there. And I am going to put my heat on and stir that up, melt the butter, melt the sugar. I might put in a little bit of water too, just to get that, maybe half a cup of water, so that'll be good. All right, and I need to find my lid. All right, so while these are getting up to the right pressure for the steam canner, those are going to melt, and I'll bring you back when whichever one of these is done first. Either I need to add in my 16 cups of the applesauce to mix with that, or it's time to take these out. So I will see you back shortly. All right, so our red hots, I don't know if you can see that in there, but they are all melted. And now I'm going to add my 16 cups of applesauce. Hopefully there's 16 cups in there. Stir this up and get this warmed up, and that cinnamon mix all stirred throughout the applesauce. You can kind of see how that's changing already. Kind of dark back there, but you'll see when I can it up. All right, so I'm going to get that heating up. I'm going to get the regular applesauce on the trays and let them cool off, cooling trays. I'll be back. All right, so our red hot cinnamon applesauce is done. Can you guys see that? How red and pink that is? You'll see it once it starts coming through the jar. So I'm hoping I get 8 pints of this. We'll see. I measured it out hopefully to get 8, but you know, sometimes measurements are a little off. So, but I would like to get at least that much. Oops. Need a little bit more in there. There we go. That should be good. Okay. Let's get that cleaned off. This stuff is so good. Just got that hint of the cinnamon in there. It's not too spicy. It's delicious. I've been making this the last few years and the kids really enjoy it. Of course, one of the kids isn't here anymore to really enjoy it, so that means extra for Becca. Woohoo! So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Such a great color. All right, so I'll continue filling these up and hopefully getting 8 pints out of there. We'll see. All right, so here are the goods out of the canner. I am finally done for the day. I did end up getting 8 pints of the cinnamon candy applesauce and plus a little bit left over for the fridge for lunch for tomorrow or dessert or whatever. So anyway, that is what I got out of 2 boxes of Honeycrisp apples. I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed doing. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.